Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Syafira Jihan Lesmana, and I'm an agribusiness consultant. Okay, today I will going to present my analysis of coffee as an agribusiness commodity, and I will explain the coffee for process, interpretation of the data of our graph, and give a professional comment on the trend. Okay, the title is Coffee as an agribusiness commodity, supply chains, flow, price volatility, and strategic analysis. Okay, first let's talk about why coffee is matter and important. Okay, coffee is one of the most important agribusiness commodities in the whole world. It connects many actors in the supply chains from farmers to consumers. And also in Indonesia, coffee is also a very relevant commodity because it has a strong production base and a long market chain. So coffee is not only a daily beverage but also a strategic commodity that reflects on the performance of the agribusiness system. Okay, we move to the coffee agribusiness flow process. The sequence begins with the upstream activities where supplier provides seed, fertilizer, pesticide, and farming tools for coffee farmers. And then comes the on-farm stage on the right where coffee is cultivated on the farm. And at this stage, farmers handle planting, maintenance, pest control, and harvesting. And this part is very important because the quality of the final product starts from how well the coffee is managed at the farm level. Okay, followed by post-harvest processing. The coffee cherries are processed through pulping, fermentation, washing, drying, and hulling to produce green coffee beans. And this stage is very important because it affects the quality and value of the coffee. And subsequently, the beans are collected by cooperative farmers group or local traders and then distributed to wholesaler exporters and roasting companies. And this stage help connect small producers to larger market. And finally, in the downstream stage, coffee is roasted, packaged, branded, and sold through cafes, supermarkets, restaurants, and online stores. And this is the stage where coffee reaches final consumers. Downstream activities is very important because they add value to the product and shape how consumers experience the coffee. So, yeah. And next, look at the graph or the data. This chart is show the annual coffee production trend in Indonesia from 2018 to 2024. In general, the trend is upward, although there are some fluctuation along the way. And production declined slightly in 2018 and again in 2023, but it recovered strongly in 2024. And in fact, guys, Indonesia recorded its highest coffee production in the last decade in 2024 and reaching 107,580 tons. And if we look at the overview, the data shows suggests that Indonesia's coffee production has a strong long-term base. However, it is not completely stable because the production still moves up and down from year to year, and that means the sector is growing, but it's still fairly vulnerable to environmental and market changes. And if we're looking at the detail, the small decline in certain years show that coffee's production is influenced by several factors such as weather condition, farm productivity, and possibly market incentive. On the other hand, strong increase in 2024 suggests that production condition improved, which is a positive signal for the industry. Now, for my professional comment, okay. And the production trend suggests that Indonesia coffee sector has a strong supply base, but is still vulnerable to fluctuation. And from an agribusiness point of view, this trend is positive, but it's also risk. Yeah, and higher production can support domestic demand and export growth, but it does not always mean higher income for farmers. If supply goes up faster than demand, price at farmer level may go down. So, in my opinion, stakeholders should not focus only on volume, but they also need to focus on the quality and post-harvest handling and additional some value. And that way, the whole supply chains can become more efficient and more profitable. And to conclude, coffee is strategic agribusiness commodity with a long and connected value chains. And the data shows that production is growing, but the sector still needs smart management to keep the value balance across the chains. Okay. That said, talk about coffee as a commodities, agribusiness in the world. Okay, thank you for your attention and see you.